Hello. Hello. What is your name?
Maria.
Maria. From Russia?
Slovakia.
Akshara is not here.
Mm-hmm.
And you must be Shanti.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So, I've never met you both before. Everybody else I've met, and you know the way that I'm working. And since this is one intensive day, I really want to just, normally in these retreats we have time to take off the top layers, slowly take the t-shirt off, stuff like that, But as we have one day, it's like we just go straight for it. So I say a few words about the main point of this. That I offer is to really wake up to who you really are. I mean, who you really are, is like there are so many versions of you changing all through your life, but what you are behind all of that never changes. The very essence of your being is what you are first of all. And how we move into the world, where we're moving, from which place we move from in ourselves into the world, is what manifests our world. Right? So the very place from which we move from will manifest our world. If we're moving from the very essence of our being, how we meet our world, whatever, all the ordinary things are still happening, but how we meet that is going to be very, very different than if we're landed in an identification with a separate little me, with its whole bag of identity. When we are identified with that little bag of identity, whatever comes up in our life, in the ordinary things, that same things come up for everybody, is going to be a very different experience than if you're meeting life from a deeper place of what you are. So the way you meet the world is the way the world meets you. Right? As a human race, we're facing great challenge right now, on the whole planet. You don't need me to tell you how many people are starving and getting bombed and living under conditions that we cannot even imagine. Right? It's really a difficult challenge on the planet right now through human consciousness. And it's the same for us in a different way. We have this privilege to sit in rooms like this and focus on consciousness. This is our privilege. Do you know how privileged you are to arrive at this point? And if you are still sitting in that going, poor me, in any way, life is going to hurt you a little bit more. Because until you realize the privilege that you're in, you are lost in you know. So, what life is giving us now is whatever I'm going to share with you is not about my teaching towards you, which you're going to take my teaching. It's not like that. I will provoke and evoke your true being, the recognition of that, and the undoing of what is not true appearing as you in your world. Yeah. And because we are not just this true essence, we are also here in a human form, to live as a human. How are we going to walk as a human? What are we going to leave this planet imprinted? What is our imprint that we give to this planet? What are you here for? What is your imprint? What is your drop in this ocean to leave here on this planet? Because you're here for a short time. So what is your imprint that you're bringing here? And if your life is not all about that, what is your life about? Can you just sense, can you just taste, as you hear these words, can you just taste that? Can you taste that? Can you taste that? Yeah, because something is being touched with these words. Something is being touched. It's a deeper knowing, it's a deeper longing. Because you long to really live from what you are. You long for this. And it's like, I can feel you as you move these words through me, because you're calling them, and these words come. They don't come from me, they come from what is here. So you're moving that, and that touches you where you want to be touched, and that you can taste that essence, that. And then when we really allow that to come through us, then our life is a life of fulfillment. It's not a fulfillment that comes in a future that is dependent on circumstance, about what we get or we don't get. It is a life that moves from fulfillment and is that will be challenged, you know, by every bit of life will come to challenge and bring everything you don't want and everything that disturbs that and everything that is really to break you through. You either break down or you break through into the next version of what you can be. You know, so on our planet right now, this is happening because we are being made as a human race into the next version of the human race. It's the end of a civilization. We're moving very fast towards the end of a civilization. Yeah. I give you a date, you don't have to believe it, but by 2026 we are a completely new human being. What we have ever known in generations before does no longer exist. So as we're being made new, all that is old and worn out and can't work anymore, and you know, like all the bank systems are falling apart, the schools are falling apart, marriage is falling apart, the bargain, the institution, everything is falling apart because it cannot work anymore. It belongs to the old system. So what will come in its place? you might notice in your experience a cranking up of the volume. The volume's cranking up where you're having access, more and more access to what we would have called telepathic before. But soon it will be called normal. That you don't actually need mobile phones, that we are always communicating, that we are always in touch. The conversation that's already happening, right? We would have called it, that's telepathic. Somebody's got powers if they can do that. But slowly, slowly, as filters are being removed from you, that it's just naturally, wow, and it's like, wow, wow, wow. But actually, that's coming into normal. You know, because what is here is one. It's only one. You will see in this one day we have together, which is not even a day, but we have to call it something. Let's call it a day, right? So in this one day, we have the meeting of one. You will see the absolute undeniable proof of that over and over, that which looks through your eyes is looking at you. That which is seeing itself. These used to be things that we read in books and we tried to contemplate hours and hours. But we don't have time anymore for that. The planet is in its own desperate shift. Even the planet doesn't care, but that's our experience. Right? So to come to know this one here in this room is to come to know the one on the whole planet. So I like this little smile you got on the edge of your lips. Tell me about it. Maria.